Welcome to Amuso Real Talk. Amuso Eunice is my name. Thank you for your love. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting Amuso Real Talk from the beginning to where we are right now. Thank you. A big thank you to the team behind Amuso Real Talk. Mr. Philip, Jeff, Mr. Nicholas, Mr. Nasa. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for supporting Amuso Real Talk. Thank you for being there since the beginning, since the birth of Amuso Real Talk until now. Thank you to our sponsors, Industrial Machines Uganda, Dinner Apartments B4, Plot 133 in Tinda, Kampala, Uganda is where you find their offices. And contact them +256 773 723 Send Mr. Ikonyat Festus, their country manager, an email at ikonyatfestus@gmail.com. Go to their website www.industrialmachinesuganda.com. They deal in all your machinery products. They will take care of you and you will not regret when you trust them with your industrial products. Now, today on Amuso Real Talk, we will talk about friendships and how to maintain them for so long. What are some of those things that we need to know, what we need to put in place? Because every relationship needs work and effort. We'll be right back. At a fundamental level, we rely on one another for basic survival. For example, we rely on farmers for the produce of the food that we consume. We rely on teachers for knowledge. We rely on doctors for the protection of our health. We rely on the army and the police for our security. We rely on the courts of law for justice. Besides survival, reliance on each other helps us to thrive. Social connection is a human basic need. Having bonds with each other helps us to grow positively, emotionally, economically, physically, and mentally. So, on the topic of discussion today here on Amuso Real Talk, we want to talk about how to maintain friends for a longer period of time and to benefit from one another positively. Number one, be honest and sincere. It's one of the most critical communication skills. But when you speak the truth with honesty and sincerity, people will believe what you are saying and they will trust you. When we trust what people are saying, we believe what they say, we know that they mean what they say, and they say what they mean. So that is one of them. Another thing is be vulnerable to your friend. When you are vulnerable, it gives the other person the opportunity to get to understand who truly you are. When you open, for example, you have a situation that has been disturbing you, or perhaps you had a decision that you made and it's like you did a mistake, and you got to the person and you confide in them, it's you being vulnerable to them, giving them an opportunity to listen to you and perhaps to give you an advice of what their perspective is. So you need to be vulnerable to one another. It also helps you in bonding as friends, even at work with your colleagues, even at home, even we are talking about friendship here. And friendship, because friendship benefits us physically, mentally, economically. Economically is, of course, when you're working with people and you have a friend at a place of work, there are chances of growth. You cannot succeed alone without people. But your relationship with those people determines how far you will go at that particular point to another point in time, and how to benefit one another positively. Number 1 on my list, be honest and sincere. It is a critical communication skill. But when you tell the truth with sincerity and honesty, people will learn to trust you and trust what you say. And when people trust what you say, they will know that when you say something, you mean it, and you also say what you mean. So that number 1 aspect will help you to grow with your friend, be it at work. Like we said, we need each other as a social need. It's human basic need. Another thing is being vulnerable to one another. Why would you want me to open up myself to you when you don't open yourself to me? So for you to grow as friends, you must accept to be vulnerable to each other. For example, share a few things that have been happening to you, to the person, and see their opinion. Give them the opportunity to express what they think about that particular situation. When you're vulnerable to the other person, it gives them the opportunity to know you extremely, the who you are in detail. Another thing is respecting another person's perspective of things. Even if you have a point and you feel your point is the right one, give chance to the other party and respect their own perspective. And even if you disagree with how they think of that particular point or topic, respectively disagree, but give an ear to their opinion. It has helped me as a person to grow with my friends, the small circle that I have. And we've been friends for long periods of time. And by the grace of God, we'll continue to be friends because we know what we mean to each other. Another thing is, learn to give a listening ear to your friend. When you listen to people, you give them the opportunity to know that somebody got them. You give them the chance to feel comfortable in expressing their vulnerability to you. Everybody needs to be heard. Don't be selfish that it's only you who should be heard. So give your friends time to speak and listen to them. Listen to them. You know, listening is one of the skills that most of us lack. When some of us generally as people, we like to answer, we hear for answers, but we don't listen. So listening is you really pay attention when the other party is talking, and to the point that you can even relate to this particular topic when you're on another topic after a certain period of time. It gives them joy to know that you listened to them. When you tell someone that, I remember you told me about this, and the person's like, really? I didn't know that you were listening. You need to listen to others. Learn to listen to others. And those are small things, but they are so much detailed and they help in the growth of friends. Another thing is, sort out any small misunderstandings before they grow. Be open to discussing what went wrong. And to both of us, to both of you, when point A or person A expresses to person B what has offended him or her, person B, you should not take offense when person A expresses themselves to you. You should go back to what we said. Listen. Listen to your friend and allow them to be vulnerable to you. Respect their perspective. When you know the value of the friendship that you have, when you know the value of the person, the best thing you have to do when person A expresses what has offended them, person B, you should say, I am sorry. That is the first thing you should say, other than person B saying, but it was nothing, but it wasn't offensive. But what? When you start refuting what has affected the feelings of person A, you're creating a distance between two of you. It means you cannot stay in the same space. Hence, your friendship shortens because the other person A does not feel safe with person B, because person B only wants to hear the good, does not want to hear the other side, the negative. Yet both of us as human beings, we have both sides. We have a negative and a positive. So it is very, very important for us to acknowledge when we hurt the feelings of others. Excuse me. So, person B, the only way you can solve a situation when it comes is to say, I'm sorry. When you say, I'm sorry, person A will calm down and you will laugh over it. And that's when you will say to person A, whatever, that, you know what, I didn't mean it that way. It was just a joke. But in the process of person A expressing, and it means they want to sort this issue out with you because they need you, because they don't want to lose you, because they don't take you for granted. So for you to maintain and grow as friends in all areas, at work, in society, in day-to-day life, you need to understand the power of being apologetic to one another. Another thing is having an attitude of gratitude. It is very important for you to always tell those people as you grow together that I appreciate you. It is very vital for you to remind someone of what importance and value they add to you. It makes them feel comfortable with you, and it makes them to do more, to express themselves more, because they feel appreciated. How then will you not grow with your friend for a long time if really you do a few of these things? You know, even our parents, that is the only way they used to be with longer term relationships of friends, and to the point that we think they are related. Accepting the effort of the other party and showing gratitude. How about if you can just pick a phone and call person A and say, hello, I just called to tell you that I appreciate you being in my life as my friend, and I pray that we continue growing together. I pray we see each other grow. Then tell me, if that person will not be happy, it means that person has a problem. And because you're appreciated, you're in a society, you're in an environment where you feel appreciated, your mental health is stabilized, because you know there is someone you're going to call once you have something that is not right. When we go through emotional disturbances and we have these good friends, they calm us down. Because you were vulnerable to this person, you opened up to this person, your friend knows you better. They know how to calm you down. They know what words to use. They know when you're hurt. They respect boundaries. Respect is another thing. You need to respect each other. It takes us back to what we said, that respecting another person's perspective. When you respect each other, you understand the power of boundaries. There is no way you will not last with someone if you keep your boundaries. you know your person, you know your friend, you know your colleague, that when I skip this line, this person's emotions will arise and it will be difficult to bring them back because they already opened up to you. So like we said, when you're honest and sincere, people trust what you say because they know you mean what you say. Be polite and positive. If you are talking, be very, very careful with the words you say, not to hurt the feelings of others. Before you speak, mind what you're going to say. And if you say something that was unintended, be quick to apologize. This helps you to grow together as friends and future interactions. Another thing is show concern and care towards others. For example, like it goes back to one of the points where I said that be a good listener to others. So paying attention and care to them. For example, when your friend tells you in a conversation that, you know, my mom is sick, take concern when you ask them, you know what, how is your mom doing? It brings openness and it creates comfort, and your friendship grows because this other person feels that you care for them. When you are in this, you have to forget about you and focus on the other. It will take me to the second last point that I'm going to make tonight. So another thing is understanding the power of humility. Ego is one thing you have to put on the side. You need to learn to massage your ego. You'll see yourselves growing. You see yourselves 1 year is done. You see yourselves 2 years is done. You see yourself 10 years gone, and you're like, how did we make it? And you're old together, and you understand what I'm trying to say. But lastly but not least, there are 2 rules. There is a golden rule that we all know when we growing up as children, is treat others the way you want to be treated. But there is a platinum rule, and I think it's the greatest. The platinum rule is care for others. Be attentive to others. Do not focus on you, but focus on what makes others comfortable and happy. And know that this is what makes my friend happy, this is what they don't like, and this is how I'm gonna treat them because this is how they want to be treated. And treat them the way they want to be treated. It should not be about you. So now this goes to both of us. A should be concerned about B. B should be concerned about A. That's the platinum rule. And above all, let the Almighty God be the center of your friendships. Remember, we need each other to grow. All these things I've shared apply at work, at school, at church. It doesn't make sense for you to be at the church and you have a rival and you hate this one hate this one. No. It doesn't, you know, when you are in an environment where you don't like the other and the other doesn't like the other, you see the negativity and how people are. It affects each and every one of you negatively. You feel something is not right. But when you amend things and you come together, you see how the environment rejoices. There is peace that comes with it. So, relationships, friendships to grow. Today we are focusing on friendships. To grow, they don't just grow just like that, like people think it's automatic. People have to be friends and grow and grow. Every relationship requires work. Every relationship requires sacrifice. Every relationship requires appreciation. And those things that I have shared with you. I believe you have learned something from what I have brought to the table today. So drop in your comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what are other things that you think we should be considering to maintain our relationships for longer periods of time. Follow us on Facebook at Amusoril. Follow us on Instagram, Amusoril Talk. YouTube, Amusoril Talk. Send us an email, amusoriltalk@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Our sponsors, Industrial Machines Uganda. Contact Mr. Ikonyat Festus at ikonyatfestus@gmail.com. It's been me, Amuso Eunice from Amuso Real Talk. May the good Lord bless you. We love you.